listening to the Smash Bros. Cast episode 40. I'm your host, N64 Josh, my co-host and sparring partner, NightCrawlr. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
It is going really, really, really well, thanks to the new patch.
Yes.
And we'll be talking about that a little bit later on. But before we do, if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. Pick up something awesome like Console Wars, the chair I'm sitting in, and the desk that my computer sits on, both from OP Seat. Go to n64josh.com/OP to automatically save $10 at checkout. All chairs and desks, $20 off with free shipping right now. And lastly, I have a Patreon. If you want to get yourself an extra podcast each month, go to patreon.com/N64Josh. Okay, we are going to jump right into our tournament news. All right, you want to kick this off here?
Sure. So we have some info on Collegiate Melee and Ultimate Tournament 2018-19 qualifier schedule. And that's on Max Ketchum's Twitter page. Is it a pinned tweet?
Yep, hit the pinned tweet on his Twitter right there. Give him a follow, guys, if you want info on
anything Smash.
Yeah, he's really a good resource to follow. So drop him a follow. The pinned tweet has all the details for locations and things like that. It has links to click that will give you the info plus more. There's a picture of the cities and where things are happening. So make sure to check that out. And then this weekend in Seattle, right near me. I wish I had been a little more on top of it. I would have gone down to this with my son. But Don't Park on the Grass is taking place the 15th and 16th. If you aren't able to make it, but you want to check out some of the, it's you're going to see Ultimate, you're going to see Melee. You can go to twitch.tv/endgametv1, endgametv2, or VG Bootcamp. Okay, and there's I'll have a link to the main page and everything, so you guys can see the schedule and whatnot. But that's going down this weekend. I think the top of the list for pros, I believe, is ESAM is going to be there. So you want to see ESAM in action, make sure to check out some.
But the more important thing, I think, is just these first couple bigger tournaments that are kind of getting notoriety. It's going to be a good testing ground, I think, leading up to Genesis. Genesis, I think, will eventually set the standard, maybe moving forward, but these first couple months are going to be lots of just trial and error, kind of testing different stages, what's allowed, what's not allowed, stocks, time, all that kind of stuff, how it wants to work out.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Wild West right now. We get to navigate these waters together, so it's pretty good stuff. So hey, we can jump to our news. All right. Well, kind of big news, honestly. Update rolled out yesterday, 1.2.0. Okay. This fixed some stuff. Let's go through these patch notes a little bit here. Go ahead and kick us off.
Yeah, so we'll get an official link to what the official patch notes are, but it's also pretty much what we're going to say here because Nintendo likes to be very vague on some stuff. But also, if you guys want to see the official release, it's in your game, in the mail folder on your side tab. You can see what the current patch notes are there. But one of the bigger things for anyone that doesn't already have the full roster unlocked, they have made it easier to finish completing your roster. I'm kind of saddened by this a little bit because I think I saw a tweet this morning from TK Breezy that was like, I feel sorry for anyone that has to get the game after this patch and not know the the humbling experience of getting just stomped on by the computer.
Right.
I know I'm trying to think of a few of my fights. I know DDD upspiked, like just moonshot me on one and downspiked me on on my second try to get him, and then I got him on my third try. I'm trying to think of other computers that I struggled with. I know I had a few. Lucas was another one, but I think that was mainly the stage versus Lucas. A little bit. It was just a difficult stage to get a KO on. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun experience going through, and those CPUs get harder and harder as you get further down the roster. And going back to that re-challenge door, it's a hard fight coming your way. How do you feel about the characters getting easier?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a bummer, honestly. Like, I fought Robin 5 times, I believe. Like for some reason, he just had my number. I couldn't beat him. It took me quite a while. And then I believe Duck Hunt was my last my last character, and I think I fought him like 3 or 4 times as well. So, but overall, I mean, it kind of added a little bit of like just a little sense of accomplishment, because it was like you're seeing everybody tweet like, what difficulty are these things set to? Like, what's going on here?
Well, and I'm playing through Spirits or World of Light right now. I'm not very far. I think I only have like 23 characters, but encountering some of those characters that I fought, that I remember the CPU fights on unlocking them, that's an alternate route that if you unlock it in World of Light, that unlocks it for the roster if you don't have them done. And honestly, that's an easier fight. So there are ways to get the characters on. You can set World of Light, I think, on easy, normal, and hard. So you can choose your difficulty on that kind of. So there are other ways. It's a long road to unlock everybody in World of Light, but it's still an option. So, I mean, I guess they just weighed the scales. They heard it proves that Nintendo has their ear to Twitter, and they're listening, and they're seeing people's gripes and complaints and comments and all that kind of stuff, and they're quick to address some of this stuff.
Yeah, they jumped on this pretty quick. One thing in particular,
you go for it.
The online. Now your preferred settings now take the higher priority, right? So
which I don't know why that wasn't the case to begin with.
My theory,
you think it was region more so, right?
Well, I think it was speed. I think they wanted people to get into as many matches as quickly as possible, right? Because I believe from the patch notes it says there may be your wait time may be longer just to get what you want. But I played.
The install base is high enough right now; it's not an issue.
Yeah, it's a non-issue. But it's one of those things like. One way or another, people are going to complain about something because, it takes too long to get matches. It's putting me in too many 4v4s. Like, and hey, we didn't get a beta, right? We just beta tested this game for the first week, and I think it went okay because they got in and they made some changes. The game controls better now, right? Like we were chatting a lot in Discord yesterday and stuff, and I was pretty frustrated with the way the up smash and the down smash were on the C stick. Like, if you think about it like a clock, it was almost like they were like 2 minutes past 12 and like 58 minutes, like 2 minutes before 12, as far as how like dead on you had to be with that hitting up and then hitting down. That's different. That they changed it. Like they got it to more like 7 after 12 or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of just to kind of give you an example.
Yeah, I mean, you've been having problems, I guess. So you're using. I don't use C stick for Smash, but I've been having trouble with left stick input for B move, for special moves. So I have had more misinputs when I've been either trying for side B and end up with up B. It could be just how I naturally hold my controller. Maybe I need to take a look at that. But I never had this problem in Smash 4. Like, I had misinputs in Smash 4, but never as often as they've been having. I mean, they caused a few failures to get back to the ledge on my part, especially when I'm throwing out a side B instead of up. I mean, so that I think there are some, and I've been hearing other people, especially in Discord, saying that they have some of the same problems as well. So I don't know if that's a buffering issue. I don't know if it's a just recognition on, like you were saying, compared to the clock face, or what it is. But
I think that's what it was. Honestly, I think they had the side to side basically set too high, and then the up and down were set to just be too precise, And I was like, okay, if this is me, then I'm going to but I'm like, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to throw this topic around and see if other people are experiencing the same thing. Because how many like times I got punished because I would go to throw an up smash, which would have been like a guaranteed kill. And I would end up throwing the side smash, but behind me. So I would turn around and then just expose my back to my opponent and then get punished for it. And I'm like, that stuff gets frustrating real quick because it's like, wait a minute, this same movement worked in the last game that we've been playing for the last 8 months. And now I've got to be like laser precise, and it just feels better. It's nice hitting those up smashes now. I was much more consistent with them,
Yeah. And I will say yesterday I played probably maybe 2.5 hours before the patch hit, and I was grinding GSP, but I don't think I had a free-for-all match yesterday afternoon, even prior to the patch. So I don't know if maybe they were starting to do some stuff, like on the backside before the patch was fully rolled out, or if I just got lucky. But I feel like I did not have a free-for-all match yesterday, but the days prior, definitely. And we'll get into that. I mean, that's kind of subsided now that they've addressed this and fixed it, but that was a very frustrating thing. And I think especially like the big time streamer and pro scene affected that very heavily, because I know Zero wasn't even wanting to play Elite Smash that much prior. Like he did do an Iron Man challenge yesterday and did it, but he was very hesitant to jump into Elite Smash because of the 4-player, the free for all.
And I had been doing the let the matchmaking happen in the background, right? And that helped at first, and then I had 4 free for alls in a row.
I had tried that as well. I mean, people had said, I think that was just a placebo effect for some people if they tried it initially, because I mean, you even told me to do that in Discord, and my quick response back was like, I've already done this and I've gotten 2 or 3 in a row, and there were some tough days.
They just needed to bump that filter up, and that's what they did. And now we're in a much better place. The only thing they could, in my opinion, they could bump it just a hair more to keep the items and the smash balls out of there. I think I've encountered some regular stages, but I have not encountered items. But it's also questionable as well. Sometimes I feel like if you do a rematch, you sometimes get your rule set if you didn't have your rule set to begin with. Mm-hmm. I feel like if you rematch, it should default back to if the opposite person's rule set. Or I don't know, sometimes if the game is just deciding a rule set. Yeah, sometimes, and it just happens to put, I don't know. We don't really know. No, I played a match on the the Mario 1 stage, that looks all faded.
I saw you playing that today.
And dusty, and I played against this Pikachu and was able to gimp him with fireballs, so he fell down one of those tiny little pits. I, of course, lost it because I just couldn't believe that was a way that he got taken out. So, but overall, I mean, it definitely has improved. And then there's quite the list of fighter adjustments, and all the characters that got adjustments were noted, but we have no clue what happened to them. I think the only thing we know is that there was
buffed or nerfed or
the invisible bomb bug with Link, that was something, and Leo just posted that.
There's some Greninja taunt, was it a taunt or victory I don't know what it was, but something with Greninja was patched as well.
I see.
So, but I think are you talking about the unofficial Smashboard patch notes. Like, I think the community is kind of going through slowly but surely and trying to figure out what exactly is different. And Smashboards has a thread going, I think, that has a list of the changes, but Nintendo, being Nintendo, is very cloak and dagger with it, and we don't really know officially what has changed.
Got you. Okay. So it looks like the remainder of our notes here are talking points. Is that correct?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to jump into our talking points. Okay. So Crawler has written a book here on, like, he was just salty typing away at his computer. No, go ahead and kick this off.
All right. So, I mean, we've kind of talked about it a little bit, and a lot of it has some of it has been rectified, but I just wanted to throw out some ideas to you, Josh, and then also to the community as well. Come talk to us in the Discord. Shout out to everybody. Downloads have been crazy this week with the game coming out, and tons of you have joined the Discord. So
wait, let's number 10 on iTunes Games and Hobbies, yes. Guys. That's how Is that
crazy. Where you peaked? Did it go up any higher?
I think it peaked at number 10 on Games and Hobbies, which is unreal. We were higher than the official Nintendo podcast. So, like, crazy. So thank you guys so much for that.
Yeah,
for listening.
And welcome all the new listeners.
Yeah.
Don't listen to episodes like 1 through 10.
Well, there's good to them, and there's also a lot of bad to them. There's the history of Smash Bros, and there's me telling everybody just roll all the time because it's an effective strategy.
All right, so I kind of just wanted to bring up some thoughts on just online in general. So that includes Arena. We'll go over that first, and then we'll get to online. So I know you were very hyped on Arena. You've had a week now doing streamer battles and stuff like that. So I think a lot of this is taking into consideration kind of what you could think. I've watched some other streamers. I did a few nights of streaming. One night I did viewer battles, and it works well enough with like the Smash 4 bot that was built for making a list and all that kind of stuff in Smash 4, and kind of trying to implement that in this Arena system, but you don't quite use the Arena system how it wants. So one of the things I think Nintendo could add is like an option to have it be a single person centric controlled room. So mainly for streamers or community members, or like an online TO or something like that, if that's what we want to go towards. But you are fully in control of that room. So with your cursor, you can drag, drop, pull, push, move anybody to different spots. You can put them all in the seating area. You can have restrictions on how people move. I mean, maybe it doesn't need to go that far, but just the ability to be the God hand in that Arena room would be great. Because how many times have you had to ask? I was watching Vicky Kitty the other night, like her first night back from Mexico, and she was doing viewer battles, and she had to kick some people out of her room because they weren't listening to her on her stream. They weren't in, like, obviously she wasn't in a voice chat with anybody, but she was on stream asking people to get out of the ring or stay out of the waiting area or move to the stands, and they weren't. So she had to just go to the option. Because it was her room, she could kick them out fully, but that's not a way to have to do it. And it would just be nice to pick that person up and just move them. Would that be something you would be into?
That would be great. It'd be great because, I mean, we've gotten a pretty good system down as far as, for the most part, most of the people coming in, like they know what we're doing and how it's working. But there are those times like I have to set the room at winner stays typically, or that's where I put it. Well, if I lose a match and somebody's in the waiting area, then boom, they get put in. If they both hit okay, now we get to sit and watch two coins shoot each other with lightning, which is not ideal, you know? So a little more control there would be great. And, you know, for the most part though, I would still say the experience has been very positive, and I like that you don't have to use your friends list. That is a nice feature. Huge thing.
Because that was a big, especially in Smash 4 and just in general with like Mario Kart and Splatoon, when you've done that with people playing from the community, Splatoon especially, it'll kick you out if you go to the main menu for more than 2 seconds. So having that, just set a code, post it in your chat, and it's there for people to join. That's great.
Yeah, works well.
So speaking of creating the arena, the fact that you create this and you're in it and it stays this instance that it is the whole time. So if you mistakenly set it to be like Battlefield only, like that's what I did the other night. I went in and changed my preferences, and this is kind of something I have down here as well. But if you change your preferences, like I turned on specific maps that I wanted to play regular. So I had like Final Destination and Battlefield, but I also had like Smashville and Town and City and Fountain of Dreams. And I turned off Hazard, so that wouldn't have been anything with, and I think I had Dreamland, but I forgot to change the one setting that was like Battlefield only. And you can't go back and change any of your settings once you create the room. And that's kind of a hassle, I feel like, especially if you're streaming or you have a group of people that are already in that room. So being able to possibly bring up the options and change your rule set, change from if you had been having just like 2 or 3 people in the room and you kind of been rotating through, but you get a 4th and you want to do team battles or something like that and the room is already created, being able to change it from 1v1s to free-for-all to team battle and change those rules that we were able to do. It's kind of like we took 1 step forward, but like 2 steps forward and like 1 step back kind of with this system where it's really great what we have and the options that we have, but we can't do it in the here and now like you could in Smash 4. It was a quick click of the button. You weren't always in charge, I guess, in Smash 4. It could rotate to people that were in charge, but it was still that option while you were in that lobby. It was there.
Yeah, it like that is frustrating, not being able to switch any of that stuff, even if you needed to like lower the amount of people that were allowed in the room because maybe you were starting to get some lag or things like that. So it definitely could be a quality of life improvement. What I do like is the fact that you can go into your so your custom rules, right, that you save. Mm-hmm. You can go in, turn off all the stages that you don't want to show up.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about doing. And
then if you select, as long as you have Battlefield and Final Destination, as long as they are selected, you will see variants of Battlefield and Final Destination with the other maps. All the other maps.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
with the other regular stages mixed in as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little hard to like confirm and check all this stuff out, but like I had Smashville, I had Town and City, that kind of stuff. Those would show up, but sometimes they would show up with the Battlefield configuration, you know.
And which they've confirmed, and I think we've talked about in the past, that those are all based on the geometry of just Battlefield.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of some cool stuff there.
It's just good, different music and different background. It's not the same thing all the time. It's
right. Yeah. So, you know, overall, like it's a pretty positive experience, and I think it can only get better.
Yeah. And so the last thing I guess with Arena is because we talked a little bit about Battlefield Omega regular stages kind of all in the mix, but that I did not know that little small fact about if Battlefield and Omega were mixed into, I had my settings wrong when I did my room, and that was just a oversight on how I went about setting up my room, but having been able to change that really quick would be nice. But that kind of answers my last point. But the point before that, the last thing is just being able to quickly change your character without having to leave the ring. So if you won, and if you're kind of in like a public room that's not maybe necessarily being curated by a streamer or anything like that, and you won, but you want to change characters or something like that, you get out of the ring. And if there's a line of people that it's just people just going through the turnstile, then that takes you out of line and you lose your spot. So being able to change just right there in the ring, that'd be nice. And that kind of translates to something about the online stuff as well. But you only play kind of one character, so I guess that doesn't really matter for you.
Well, I've bounced around a little bit between, like, I've messed around with Inklings a little bit, and I think that might have been it, really. It is nice if you just want to
I
set
saw
it on
you did
random.
you did a random day on a little bit. Did you do that on Saturday on your long stream?
Either that or Monday I had another long stream too. So that's nice. If you set it on random, it will just choose another character for you. Like, which is cool. It's just, you would almost, if you were going to leave it like that, it might be nice if you could set your random to only pick like between 5 or 6 characters, that you like to play as. That would be a nice little quality of life thing as well. So,
yeah.
But and some of this stuff is just like, some of
this
this stuff is
quality
really
life stuff that can come hopefully in the future.
Yeah, and some of it's like really for this is like streamers wanting this. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't just like getting together with your, like, if you just get together with your buddies and want to do winner stays, like the arena is amazing. Like really, really, like exactly what I wanted for this game, as far as like, hey, get in line, spectate, and you're next. Or
even if you're just playing with your friends and you're in Discord chat or something like that, because you can communicate and it's easy enough to bounce out and do all that kind of stuff. It's a great space to be in, but I think it could be better, and hopefully they'll realize some of those changes that could make it better. I don't know, maybe networking some of that stuff might be difficult, but I don't think anything that I've talked about would hopefully be that difficult to implement. Yeah. But we'll see.
We'll give it some time.
Yeah,
some time. Is this
so?
Are we getting ready for the salt mines now?
Again, it's been brought down. It's been brought down a little bit since yesterday's patch. The biggest thing I was upset about was the effect that other people dictating the games I was playing affecting my GSP.
I heard you broke down and cried on stream. Is that true?
False. False.
There were not actual tears?
No.
Just ugly crying with no tears.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. So my first point is just GSP. I think it's both good and bad.
It's crawling through the salt. That's what we're doing right now. We're crawling through the salt. Let's go.
I think GSP being a way to track how you are doing against the greater community is awesome. I would almost prefer. I was thinking about this week. I would almost prefer the numbers to be flipped on their head. Let's see the number. Like, know if you're the number one Incineroar or Corrin or King K. Rool. I mean, just know that you are. Work your way. The problem I have with GSP is it's a moving end zone. You can't know for sure where your end line is, what you're shooting for. And if Elite Smash was like, I'm kind of jumping around my notes here, but like, if let's say top, I think they've said 10%. Am I making that up, or did we hear that somewhere?
Somebody posted it in the chat a little while ago. I'm not quite sure
I'm not sure if that's
maybe
100%
if we go back
true,
and watch that final direct, it may tell us, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
But let's just, for example's sake, let's say 10% is the top 10% of each character, because again, we're not positive, but I'm pretty sure, because just from different data that we've gotten from people just talking in Discord, what their numbers are and character wise, where they're sitting for Elite Smash, it's different for each character, and it's a different number, usually above 1 million something GSP. So if we could take that 10% and let's put some data out there and say there's this many players that are currently ranked with this character. Your goal is, and like I said, flip the numbers on their head, and your goal is to be above the number 10,000. Say there's 100, let's say there's 1 million. That'd be 1%. So I'm not going to do math right now, but let's just say that's that you have a number to shoot for. Even if they leave the current system how it is right now. Like, I want to see when I click on my character, this is hey, this is your goal for Elite Smash. It can always be moving because it always is moving. Numbers are going to go way up around Christmas Day when a bunch of new people come online. Because if you guys notice throughout the week, like my number kept inching up. Like on Saturday or Sunday, it was in like the 600s, and by like Monday, it was in the 800s. And now I'm sitting at like almost 2 million roster GSP. So that's just been going up and up and up as it's been going. So just to have that end, because I want the end zone. I want to know, because on Tuesday night, I got the highest I've been with K. Rool, and it was just over 1 million. And people in Discord were saying, you got to be close. You got to be knocking on the door. I kept kind of playing a little bit, and I dropped a little bit, but it's still just like to know maybe how close you are to that end zone. I would like to know.
Here's the problem I see with seeing some of that stuff. It brings out the cheaters. Like that kind of stuff just brings out the, what are we going to see? Are we going to see mods? Are we going to see it? Already having an elite status, you're going to have people cheating. What I find strange, I've started a few matches now. The person I'm playing against just stands completely still, and I just throw them off.
Huh. I can understand that because I saw something on Twitter like early on this week, and it was somebody faced an Incineroar, the worst Incineroar. It was number one GSP. So the worst Incineroar. And the comments on that Twitter post were, oh, he's tanking it for his friend. Like they're trying to sync up their free-for-all matches, and they're teaming up against somebody, and then he's tanking and jumping off or something like that. So I don't know if that's maybe the case, but that's also, you're seeing that person is the very, very, very bottom of that character. So I don't know. But yeah, I definitely don't want Smash to go the route of Mario Kart 8, because that is, it's hot garbage right now.
Well, not only that, but I mean, you think of other games, Halo, you had a rank in like Halo 2. It was so full of cheaters so that people could get to level 50, right? You had Halo 3 the same way, and then they took stuff away and they hid it so that people wouldn't know what they were, but they would still get matched up against people of a similar thing. The thing that I think might be better for this overall is just get away from the filter system with this whole, like, if you're going for elite, and almost make like a for glory or a competitive like mode.
Yep.
That's like, whether it's based on wins or whether it is your global smash power, whatever. Get all those other factors out of there so that it strictly boils down to how you are playing 1v1 with somebody with no items, all that other stuff, So kind of what we were getting at a little bit earlier, as far as just like there could be a little bit greater focus, because it's so all over the place. Jumping in and then having a smash ball show up, I lost because of that. Jumping in and having the stages that are just like normal, and you're flying around on a ship.
You played on Ice Climbers, or what's the Metroid one that like flips upside down, and
dude,
the like the asteroid that rotates.
Yeah,
like, that's horrible.
No. So that
well, and especially like Mario is very adaptive to different terrain per se. I guess fireballs kind of bounce and go around. They will die off if they hit something, but like the two characters I've spent the most time with are K. Rool and Corrin, and both of those characters are dependent on. I'm used to playing them on a flat surface, and when I get thrown into one of those matches, K. Rool especially, without use of the blunderbuss and his crown, when you can't throw that out there, because it dies as soon as it hits something that blocks it, so it doesn't come back to you. I think it might come back to you, but it just doesn't continue moving. So it changes how you have to play. And for you and me, we're kind of in a mentality that we're getting ready for Genesis and trying to understand that. And that's what we have our settings on, is to try to play those. And then again, this has been hopefully rectified for the better. You played more this morning. I think you had a few regular. You played that Mario stage 1.
Yeah, there was a few regular stages and a few stages with items. And I mean, I did somebody pretty dirty with the
but
items.
I mean, but that could also be the time of day you were playing early in the morning on a Friday, so not a ton of people may be online, so that could have been a factor into it. But yeah, I mean that was a very big damper for this week, and I think last night's patch fixed a lot of that.
Well, and if you're going to try to earn the score, when you go in and play a match with items, your skill at that point goes out the window, and it's a race to the closest item, right?
RNG.
Whoever gets the closest item is going to win. And so it's strange that can play a factor in this elite, to hit the elite smash or whatever, so,
yep.
Or elite status. And,
so touching on GSP, I think this kind of ties into a little bit we were talking about with hackers and cheaters and that kind of stuff. But I would like to know kind of how it's calculated, because I feel like some of those free-for-all matches that I played, I won, and I was pretty positive what my number was going in, but it looked like it didn't go up at all. Like maybe a couple thousand, like barely anything went up. And so this kind of ties into 2 points that I have. Just like, is it more based on, because I saw some of the matches you played today. You're like 600 something. I think I saw you play against somebody that was like 144, so 144,000, and you're like 600 something thousand. That's a pretty big disparity for what that is. But I'm wondering how much is single character GSP calculated into your matchmaking versus roster GSP. And I just don't know. Like, Nintendo is just very vague about all of this stuff and kind of how you're being match made.
We really have no clue. We have no clue other than they've said region, right? Like, and then if you hit elite, because I mean the variety of people I've played against that were all similar score to me, so varied. Like, play some people that you're like, they literally can throw 2 moves and you're just dancing circles around them. And then you play against somebody that's literally dancing circles around you. And you're like,
yeah,
wait a minute.
Which is, I feel like that's how it was in Smash 4. It was luck of the draw. You didn't know what you were going to get. But this, you feel like you should be kind of, we were talking before the game came out that it was hopefully going to be just like stair steps, that you were climbing up towards that, and you were going to be playing a bunch of people that were on your level, and you were going to be duking it out on that stair step, and then hopefully you rise up and you get to kind of move up. And it's hard to tell when that's happening sometimes. And then kind of capping off the GSP talk is just like, at the end of the match, I don't know if you've encountered this a lot, but sometimes I feel like I almost have to rush through the end screen, the end of match notices, to try to catch a glimpse of their score, because Nintendo is not showing you. First off, it's not showing you how much it's showing you if you go up or down just a little bit on your screen, but it's not showing you how much you go up and down, how much they go up and down. And you have to like rush through to even see what their score was, to see how on par you were with them. Have you encountered that?
Oh yeah, it's weird. It's weird that's the, like,
it's like a hidden thing that you got to rush to go do. If
I'm zoning out on talking to chat, or I'm trying to clip something or whatever, and then I go back and look, it's like, oh, should I rematch this person? Do they have more points than me? Do they have less points than me? That kind of stuff, like, because that plays a factor in hitting that rematch, And,
yeah. So speaking of rematches, let's talk about that, because
here comes the salt, fam.
Well, so there's 2 things that factor into this. I think that if you are similar score and you end up above their GSP, is there any motivation for you to rematch them at all?
Well, If you're above their GSP, I'm not entirely sure.
Them, I guess maybe.
I'm not entirely sure. But when I first jumped into this to try to earn some points, I was doing handheld, and I think I had like 13K, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Played this guy or gal, took like 150K from him, right? And then they rematched. We basically traded GSP completely by the time we were done. Like they had like 500,000. I had 500,000 when they were done, and they were really, really low, right? So
I mean, it was to that person's disadvantage. I'm kind of surprised they continued. They probably either didn't realize what was happening, or I don't. They probably just didn't realize what was happening.
I was having fun.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you went up quite a bit in that two match thing. But yeah, I mean, there's very little motivation to rematch. And then on top of that, if you had like say you and I are fairly similar in our abilities, but we are very different when it comes to being dependent on our characters. So you kind of stick with your one, but I can go. I have like 2 or 3 that I'm comfortable doing. And since I've picked up K. Rool a little bit, he is a much better matchup for me against some other characters that I struggle with Corrin, and it happens to work out that way. So there is no option for counterpicking in this current system.
Right.
And going back, I think in our notes here, I put, we're probably down further here. Yeah. In Smash 4, you got match made with somebody and you were in a lobby, and you even made, didn't you make separate profiles to communicate very subtly with them? Like
GG and LOL.
So like you were in that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. You were in that lobby with that person, and it was your lobby to play as long as both parties wanted to continue in that matchmate. And you could choose a different character before you went back in to face that same. You knew it was the same person on the other end of the controller that you had faced, maybe with a different character. So in this iteration, it's so segmented by character with the individual character GSPs and elite status. And I feel like roster GSP does come into play with all this, since that's why you're being matchmade with people that should be about the same level as you. But there's no option to, like in a more similar to a tournament standpoint, where you could counterpick if you're pretty confident they were going to play the same character. You could counterpick something that might be a little bit stronger and give you maybe a little bit more of an advantage. There is no option for that.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck at that point. But you know, this is stuff that could change, or just don't do the rematch, right? Just jump back out, and there are definitely quality of life things that we may end up seeing in the near future. We don't know. The first patch was quick, way quicker than I anticipated. They're already showing that they're on it. They want this game to improve. One of the things that I've ended up doing that I'm going to still keep continuing to play with. Last week we said, hey, move your sensitivity up to high. I'm now playing on low. Right? Are you still where? I'm on low. Yeah. You're back on low. So
I might go back to normal. I'm not quite sure yet.
That's kind of where I'm at too. I want to now that the game has changed again, I'm going to go and play with the control settings and that kind of thing. Like it's one of those things that's going to constantly evolve, and we're going to try to constantly evolve with it and adapt and be able to keep moving forward, because it was a little clunky. Like, let's be honest, the controls are a little bit clunky. I've spent a lot of time watching videos from Leffen and stuff, and he's just like, I can't believe some of the decisions made for this game, you know? And so, but I've also gone back and kind of did some research on the updates that came out for Smash 4 over the years, and it seemed like they were constantly trying to improve the game. And I think that's going to be the same for Ultimate. I think it's going to be even more so, because I think this game is going to it's going to have such a long tail, and it already has such a larger install base. In fact, I don't have it. We didn't put it in the notes, but Japan sold through 75% of their inventory. That's crazy. That's good numbers. Yep. That's good numbers.
And wasn't the number like 1.3 million or something like that already in Japan?
Yeah. And we were hoping today we might get some kind of like press release from Nintendo about the numbers here, but we haven't seen anything yet as far as I know. So one of the things that we're going to start doing is we're going to start highlighting characters. Okay. I'm going to take, during my Friday morning streams, I'm going to take probably a half hour of just focusing on one character and their movements, and hopefully kind of looking at some combos and things like that. And we're going to start breaking those down week after week. I think we can get to some Smash tips, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up, though. Okay, so what you got? Do you got any killer tips for us, Crawler?
I don't know.
How do you deal with frustration?
I had a very up and down day yesterday. I spent the day with Corin. I went down as low as 55k GSP. I think I got up to like 900 something, and I settled back down to like 700.
Okay.
So I kind of just an up and down day. I've been working on more, trying to be less predictable. You mentioned that with like the Palutena you played today. Just try to mix up your play a little bit. So utilize your specials sometimes, but don't get over predictable because that's how you get exploited. If you always see somebody coming up off the ledge and doing a quick jump up and over, then you can plan on that like side smash just right as they land, because they're going to have a little bit of landing lag when they get there. So mix it up with a stand up and shield, or roll and shield, or attacking if they're getting overconfident with where they're standing. But if you knock them off stage, don't always go for the up air. I mean, work on maybe an up special if you have an attack up special, or maybe psych them out and then come fast fall and try to catch them when they land. Just kind of mix up that play. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, the question's been asked me a number of times, like how do I improve? How do I get better? What do I? And so I'm doing just a handful of beginner videos. I've already got one on YouTube. I recorded one this morning, but I'm actually going to redo it. That's going to just touch on all the basically just the buttons, the movements, that kind of stuff. Like what you need to know about your character and what they can do, what the back area is, what the neutral area is, how to fast fall, all this kind of stuff that if you're new to the game, you may not even know it was there. I didn't know. There was times that like jumping in, I'm like, oh, fast falling. I didn't know to look for that little spark to see that I was doing it correctly. That was new to me. And so that's one of the things that I want to focus on, is just kind of getting back to that foundation. And so what I've been telling people to do is like, get your main, learn their moves, get the move set down, learn some combos, and then go play. Like, go play, improve. Watch your opponent. How can you counter them? How can you punish them when this happens? Look for those times. The easiest thing to punish. Here we go. The easiest thing to punish with almost every character. There's a few that are exception to the rule, but if you see a character mid-stage do their up B, meaning the move that they use to get back up onto the stage, there is going to be landing lag, and you are going to be able to punish that. Okay, so like,
significant. You
should be sprinting or foxtrotting to them as fast as you can if they whiff an up B, because it's guaranteed free percent. right? You can, and it can be a lot of percent depending on your character and how they combo. So,
and I would say secondary easiest to punish is attacking shield. If you are sitting there shielding and they're attacking you, wait for the kind of the jab barrage or whatever they're using to end, and then you can come right out of that, either grabbing them or doing your own jab combo right back at them, and you can build off that.
So, and Leo from the chat says, also take little gems in your losses. Learn from your losses. Yeah, and like those of you guys that were here for and we may have said this last week or the week prior, but like I'll break down the scenario in my head. Like that's what Peon from Beyond the Metagame said to do. Like I'll even audibly say it. Shouldn't have upbeat there. Shouldn't have, like I will say it while I'm streaming. Like, nope, I shouldn't have done that. That was, I should have got up differently. I'll just start seeing every time I take massive damage. It's like, this is what I could do different. You know, if you're getting comboed and you could air dodge out of it, why didn't you? What was the thing? What I'm noticing is like, I need to hit the air dodge quicker, right? Yep. I need to hit it quicker. I also found out today, the more I started playing with Mario, his up throw after 8%, you can get him caught in the up tilt.
No way.
Yes. Yeah, it's not like the 1,000-year up tilt like it was before. It's not like
but it's like a 3 or 4 hit then.
Yeah, you could get probably 2, 3, maybe 4 hits followed up by 2 up airs and an up.
It's still a combo.
It's still a combo, but the down throw is not viable on every character. Only heavies, I believe, and that could even vary. So, you know, so for me, that's the kind of stuff I'm working on. So to give, because that question was asked too, like, how are you practicing? Here's what I'm doing right now. I'm thinking about, like, when I'm at work, I'm like, okay, what characters have I lost to? Incineroar, right? My good friend Kirby Geek. She pulls out her Incineroar, and he's a tough character to beat. So I'm thinking about that matchup. How can I attack differently? How can I get him off the stage and use Flood to my advantage to throw him off so they can't get back?
That side B is so annoying, though. It gets you out of shield. It gets you out of everything.
Yes.
It's very annoying.
Yes. So
priority is like numero uno.
Exactly.
I think it's over Little Mac. It's crazy.
Right. So I'm thinking about those matchups. How can I improve with this? Can I move more? Am I moving too much? Am I moving in the same pattern? Am I bouncing from platform to platform and it looks the same? One of the things I'm noticing with myself is, because I'm not that proficient at short hopping yet, is I will full jump, fall, turn, fall, and then throw that back air, right? And it's so easy to see it coming. So I'm making sure that, like, hey, if I do this more than twice, it's too many times, because I've got to mix it up, because I'll bounce between the stage from one side of the stage to the other doing that. It's too easy to see it's coming. It's too easy to see. So I'm mixing it up. I'm utilizing the jump and the attack button for the short hops, right? Like, if I hit the short hop and down with Mario, throwing that tornado is such a great way to get something started. And it's if I can do it as a cross up and get behind during the shield, it's very effective. Very effective. Then you can get that throw, then you can get that combos. Like, I'm constantly looking at myself, and like, my nair to my 3-hit jab combo was like, I was relying on that heavily. And I'm like, no, I need to get that out. It's too easy to counter, right? If it's happening all the time. And so it's always like it's stuff that we've talked about, but it's always adding to that arsenal, always looking for ways to improve. And so for me, my big things for this week, movement. I know that Mario can move better. He's very, very fast. I know that I can move better. And so the way I'm tackling that is I'm going into training, and I'm going to just focus on moves, doing them slower and then speeding it up. You know, so if it's like left, right, left, back air, fast fall, right, I'm gonna do those inputs over and over again, watch and see how that movement looks, and then start speeding it up to where I can start building the muscle memory for that. Because I have played against some characters this week. There was a Daisy, that Palutena, a Crom, and just their movement. I feel like they're running circles around me and we're playing the same game, And so those are some of the things that I know I need to work on for this week. Anything in particular from you? And then we'll wrap this up.
I feel like I still need to work on my grabs. That's one of my weakest parts of my game. Just knowing when to see my opportunities, getting it. That's free percent right there. If I can get it, it can build off to a lot of stuff. So yeah, I just need to keep working on that. I feel like when we first started this, I was super aggressive always in Smash. You've said that before as well. I feel like my shielding and all that kind of stuff has just come over the last 6-7 months, however long we've been doing this, that I never used to shield ever. So that's something that I think I've grown doing, and it's bettered my game that way. So the next thing I need to step up my game is to work on to rounding that out and finishing with grabs and that kind of stuff.
Leo says the new strat, constantly jumping and using fair and neutral air. So
real quick before we wrap up, it looks like Nintendo is going to be supporting this game with kind of special events. There is one going on this weekend. It is spirit based. So if you've been playing World of Light or just battling on the spirit board, there are some influx of characters with glasses and sunglasses on the spirit board. You can defeat them and earn extra gold. I can say that I have gone against a few of these that are the special, these timed event ones. They don't go away like they normally do. Like if you lose on a spirit board challenge on a normal spirit, it goes away and you lost your chance on that one. It'll come back eventually. But these spirits that are here for this special challenge are there, and you can keep trying if you need to. So there's a few legend spirits and a few ace class spirits that you can fight. And so yeah, that's going from, I guess, last night. They started late last night through Sunday night. So it looks like we might get a few kind of special events coming through.
Hopefully it's just the beginning. Hopefully. All right, Crawler, where can people find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in Josh's Discord. I know a lot of you guys have been, so we've been seeing all you guys come in. Come say hello, n64josh.com/discord, and we'll say hello there. Also on Twitter, NightCrawlr724, NightCrawlr's without the E, and then also on Twitch, twitch.tv/NightCrawlr724. Been doing some GSP grinds. I think it's better for me to play when I'm streaming because I don't get as mad and throw my controller and use specific words and all that kind of stuff. But we can also get some viewer battles and stuff in. I'm working on adding the bots and other things that I need to my channel to make it a better experience. So come say hey, and we'll play some games.
Guys, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all the places. It's at N64Josh. If you want to see highlights of my stream, make sure you're on my Instagram or my Twitter. There's dunks for days on my Instagram. And I had the funniest gimp on a fox this week. They tried doing their up B, and I just 3-point line with the fireball, bloop, and they just dropped. I lost it. I could not stop laughing. Super funny. So that's on my Instagram. Guys, you can follow this show at the Smash Bros Cast. The music you're hearing is Metal Melee. You can go to n64josh.com/Metal Melee. You want to get yourself a free book from Audible, audibletrial.com/SBC. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPC. Go to n64josh.com/OPC. You automatically save $10 at checkout. And thank you guys so much for all the new listens. Rate and review on iTunes. We greatly appreciate it. Come into the Discord and hang out and chat with us. Let's get some games. I'm streaming every week starting at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so we'll see you guys there on Twitch. Later.